many people, I think Russian culture is very interesting because it's so different. But for me as a Finnish person, it is very different in some parts, but in also paradoxically, some parts it's really similar. Both countries are definitely very melancholic and very fatalistic. People in both countries think that everything will go wrong in the end. But how you deal with it is different. The Finnish person would think that there is no point in celebrating because everything will go wrong in the end. But a Russian person would think that there is no point not to celebrate. I think the first interest was mid-2000s, something like that. I think my mother was watching the news and we were all figuring that, okay, there's definitely some potential of doing business in Russia. The other thing was that when I did go to the university in Finland, I happened to have half of my classmates, or almost half of them, were Russian, so that definitely sparked my interest. I like Russian music, I like Russian folk dances and things like this, definitely. And I like Russian food really much. Borscht, and I'm actually really good at making pelmenis.
Attention all pelmenis, going to war.
I have watched few Russian films, Brat and Работа, and then of course I've watched a lot of cartoons because again they're easy for learning Russian. Of course I've watched Knyaz Vladimir, it's a new one, then old ones like Winnie Pooh Idет в гости and Песенка Мишонка and that kind of cartoons. And Masha and Medved, of course, it's great. I try to listen to Russian people, but the Russian people, of course, speak very fast, use maybe slang or spoken sort of ways of speaking, and then just again speak fast. I want to make relationships with brilliant and good people in Russia, and of course do business with them. I'm not going to do it alone because again I'm not Russian, and my knowledge of Russia is limited and I have to learn all the time. There are companies in Scandinavia and in Russia who want to do business with each other, and again something like sales contracts, maybe they have different laws about how they should be formed, and maybe they have some disputes in these, and I want to of course offer my service to help them solve those disputes and other things. Well, I actually try to ignore politics quite a lot. I follow them, but I try to be sort of neutral about them. I'm not very keen on having like political opinions, and especially something like Russia. I don't want to have a political opinion about it, and I don't want to discuss it with people because again, you know, it might put dents into relationships that are otherwise really good. So why would I ruin like personal relationship because of politics that doesn't really affect? Of course, if I can choose, it's either St. Petersburg or Novosibirsk. I think Novosibirsk especially has little less competition on this field that I must at least explore before making the final decision about it. I think, again, Russia is a very big country. I don't think there's a possibility of not doing business in Russia.